Well, happy Tuesday, Woodpeckers Nation. Welcome to the comfort of my home, and I'm very happy to be coming back into your homes. It is Tuesday at 2 o'clock, so you know what time it is. It's story time at home with the Woodpeckers time. Hope you're having a great week. We have certainly had some beautiful weather here in North Carolina. Our field at Segra Stadium is absolutely gorgeous, and I know several of you took advantage of our team store, the Bird's Nest, being back open this past weekend. We enjoyed seeing so many of your bright and smiling faces and having the opportunity to go out onto our little concourse extension that we actually have of our team store so that you could see the beautiful field for yourself. Thank you to Alpha and all of our team that make sure our field stays the very best in minor league baseball. Not that we're biased or anything, but we just really appreciate it. So we have had a fantastic time with our story time at home with the Woodpeckers. We have covered so many wonderful literary classics. Well, hello to our friends on Instagram. I'm seeing you giving me hellos and waves. Yes, Action Jackson is an incredible part of our team, and he's actually now a full-time staff member. He's helping with all of our season ticket holders, maintaining those great relationships. So you're definitely going to see some more of Action Jackson this coming season. So yes, thank you. We love seeing those positive comments. Woodpeckers Nation truly is the best. So a couple of things for you to keep in mind this week. So number one, make sure that you tune in on Friday for when our next podcast drops. Everyone loves Woodpeckers podcast, especially with our broadcaster, Matt Dean. He has been interviewing some of Woodpeckers Nation and Astros Nation's favorites. So make sure that you tune in on Friday. I have very good intel that one of our Astros prospects right now that started his journey in Fayetteville last year as a Woodpecker, who now has the opportunity to hopefully go from Woodpeckers red to Astros orange very soon, might be joining us on the podcast. So definitely a wonderful opportunity for you to set your timers, set all of your reminders so that you tune in to see who Matt's going to have welcoming on to Woodpeckers Radio. So we look forward to seeing you on Friday virtually for that. Thursday, we have the community chicken sale that we have partnered up with Mount Air Farms right here in North Carolina. So we are looking forward to seeing all of you. The pre-order stopped yesterday as far as making sure that you could get your bulk chicken in time and on the list. So we will look forward to seeing you. You'll see a lot of the different staff members. Of course, safety precautions will be at the ultimate high. There will be no contact whatsoever other than us just delivering those containers full of chicken to hopefully make a positive difference in your family and in your community. So pray for us and send us all those good vibes as we continue to try and do our very best to make a positive impact on the community. And of course, that's kind of my specialty. I'm so blessed to be the manager of community and media relations for the team, and we've got a lot of good ideas and a lot of good plans to unfurl. So of course, if you want to be the first to know anytime that we have anything special going on, you make sure and sign up for our newsletter. You can go on our website, FayettevilleWoodpeckers.com, sign up for our email blast, and you're going to know first and foremost what's happening in Woodpeckers Nation. Or make sure that you follow us, which hopefully all of you do, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And of course, Bunker has his own TikTok now because in quarantine, the bird's a little bored, so he's enjoying being able to entertain his fans and see everybody with a little bit of some fun on TikTok. So with all those updates, now it is time for story time. So earlier in Quarantine Story Time Edition, I read to you the classic tale of the Three Little Pigs, which is always such a great reminder to all of us that it's important for us to build our lives on a firm foundation and not necessarily on things that could be blown away very quickly. So we're going to take this a step forward and go to another really cool story that I enjoy, and it is called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Now, the reason why I like this book is because it actually tells the story from the perspective of none other than the big bad wolf. So are you ready to hear what he has to say? They always say there are 3 sides to every story, or at least that's what my papa used to tell me. There's the truth, there is the other person's version of the truth, and then there is the other person's version of the truth. So you always have 2 people, their perspectives, and then the truth is somewhere in between. So let's see if we can figure out what really happened with the 3 little pigs and the big bad wolf. Okay, so here we go. Got your listening ears on? Wonderful. Here we go, boys and girls. The true story of the 3 little pigs, as told to John Schkitzka and illustrated by Lane Smith. Everybody knows the story of the 3 little pigs. But I'll tell you let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault. Wolves can eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So there he is, making a birthday cake. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Does that sound familiar? Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house of straw? So there he is walking, and there's the house. So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk in on someone's house. So I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed. And I sneezed a great sneeze. So there he is. Poor dear. You all know how bad it is whenever you've got a sneeze, and it just goes everywhere. It's disgusting. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. So there he is, right there in the middle of the straw. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying here in the straw. So I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Dramatic effect. And you are not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. So there it is. It's all crumbled. Poor thing. And when the dust cleared, there was the second little pig. Dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. I guess that's kind of like Scout's honor, you know. Take the whole vow of honesty and truth. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I ate dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little bit better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old Granny's birthday cake. Oh, whatever shall he do? So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have had all the brains of the family. He had built his house of brick. I knocked on the brick house, no answer. I called Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again. He didn't even say please. Oh, that is rude. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear sweet old Granny's birthday cake. What a pig! Ah, no pun intended. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your old Granny can sit on a pin. Wow, this pig is not nice, is he? Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my Granny like that, I get a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. So he was angry and he had a cold. Not a good combination, folks. The rest, as they say, is history. So there's the front of the newspaper, everybody. The Daily Pig, with the photo of him huffing and puffing and sneezing. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. Sensationalism! So they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. Now, isn't that sad? That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar? So there he is. He's in pig jail. And yet he's still trying to make his dear old Granny a birthday cake. The end. So, what did you think? Show me some hearts and some loves if you thought that was a good story. So, just like we said at the beginning of the story, sometimes things aren't always as they seem. But the main thing is to make sure that we find the truth and to be very vigilant until we find the truth, so that the real story is the one that goes to the very top of the chain. Well, I hope that you enjoyed our story today. Oh, I see a lot of hearts and loves on Instagram. Thank you. So we're going to continue doing story time with the Woodpeckers for as long as we can, to make sure that we stay connected with all of you until we're able to be together again. So thank you for all of your encouragement, as well as making sure that you tune in every single Tuesday at 2 o'clock to see us. So probably you're going to see another one of our staff favorites that you guys really enjoyed seeing and hearing him share one of his favorite stories a few weeks ago. Ben Hughes, our manager of communications, will take the wheel next week, and you'll get to hear from him. He's got another great book lined up for all of you. But I'm Victoria, and I'm the manager of community and media relations, and I appreciate so much all of Woodpeckers Nation being so supportive during these difficult times. Stay safe, everyone. Make sure that you hug your family a little tighter every night, and always make sure that you wear your Fayetteville Woodpeckers swag everywhere that you go if you do go out, especially your Fayetteville Woodpeckers face covering, because then you're going to be the most stylish person on the street. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay safe, and we will see you here next week for Storytime at Home with the Woodpeckers at 2 o'clock. Bye.